Okay, so we had the first Raw of 2011. They actually kind of changed the format. We did begin with like a 20-minute long promo. Instead, we began with a championship match, Falls Count Anywhere. You know, for being in the era where there really isn't any blood, so it's hard to do a hardcore match, this was done really well. You know, Morrison came out looking pretty good while taking on both The Miz and Alex Riley. Seeing him go for like Starship Pain off the top rope to Miz on the table on the outside was good. This match was done beautifully well. And followed up by a Divas match that ironically wasn't too bad. You know, all the heels came out in matching outfits. So you had Alicia Fox, Melina, and Maurice taking on one of the Bellas, Natalya, and Eve. With Eve scoring the pinfall after Natalya kind of helped lay out Melina. And it was good, you know, the heels actually came out looking not that bad. I am getting tired of the Bellas just constantly switching. That's getting kind of exhausting. But all in all, it was a decent match. Everyone at least got to be involved somewhat. Yeah, Eve only came in for the pinfall, but at least it wasn't that bad. Which is a step up for most of the Divas matches. They also were fairly light on promos. You know, Miz cut a promo after his match. Orton cut a promo saying that, you know, he needs to be less nice. They talked a lot about, you know, Cena being injured. The promo that Punk did, you know, asserted himself as the leader of Nexus. Then have Wade Barrett come down. All in all, you know, it wasn't that bad. Because it actually led into a match. Promos that just lead into matches at like the pay-per-view, that kind of weighs on me a little bit. But a promo that leads to a match in like the next half an hour, good. And the Wade Barrett, Nexus, CM Punk stuff, it's actually pretty solid. You know, I'll get to that after the main event. The Alberto Del Rio R-Truth. You know, Del Rio's actually, he's what, 2-0 on Raw? Because he beat Daniel Bryan not that long ago. And all, it was a pretty solid match. It was a slower paced match. Which is weird because you thought he would have beat him probably 2 or 3 minutes faster than he actually did. That was the weird thing about this week's Raw. The matches actually seemed to have some time put to them. And most of the matches were actually pretty solid. We had to see the continuation of the Tamina, Santina Marella love story, while seeing Santina Marella and Kozlov in a pretty decent tag match against the Usos. The Usos, who have been all but non-existent ever since the breakup of the Hart Dynasty. So, you know, seeing them get the win over Kozlov and Morella worked pretty well. Continue the storyline, you know, with Tamina, which will make it even better when Tamina eventually turns on Santino and actually helps the Usos win the belts. You know, and then you go into a pretty solid main event. You know, triple threat cage match. Just one thing though. When you have both of your opponents down, how come almost nobody goes for the door? If you're kind of hurt, why does everyone try to climb the freaking cage? Go for the door. Which of course led to Punk coming down, yanking the armband off of Barrett, leading to Barrett to not win. So you had Barrett, Sheamus, and Orton. Winner takes on The Miz the Royal Rumble. All just a very, very solid Raw. You know, fairly light on promos. Most of the matches had a little more time to it than we normally get to see on Raw. If this is what we're going to see in the, I hate to say, in the Triple H, you know, senior advisor era, this is going to be some pretty good wrestling, because we're going to see a lot more wrestling and less talking.